everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Female Empowered Podcast for women like you, like me, who are running wellness practices, Pilates studios, and any other boutique service-based business and are looking to grow without burning out. That's all of us, right? Today's episode is one I know a lot of you need. Especially as we're approaching middle of summer, what to do when our marketing stops working. And July is that month. Am I right? You've done everything right. Emails, Instagram posts, maybe even some ads and crickets. Now's the time, crickets. No DMs, no calls, no new bookings. And you maybe start to wonder, like, is it me? Is marketing dead? Does email and marketing not work for me? Do I need to start all over? Why is it working for everyone else and not me? But I really want to stop you right there. You don't need to burn it all down. You don't need to start something brand new. You don't need to completely do a 180 and go in another direction. You just need to diagnose the actual issue and adjust accordingly. And part of the actual issue might just be that it's July. For the 15 years of Pilates in the Grove, July was always our lowest revenue month. So, in today's episode, what I'm going to talk to you about is very actionable things you can do to combat this and give you some pointers on some mindset tricks around it, some little hacks, and really how to take back the reins and move forward without stress and overwhelm and all that additional stuff. Okay, so let's first talk about how to tell if your marketing isn't working. So you might be getting some good leads. You might be getting leads, let's just say leads, okay, but they aren't converting. So you're getting people maybe inquire, you're getting people maybe to click on your ad, but they're not converting. Or people are clicking on the ad, but they're not taking the action on whatever landing page you have on your website. Your email open rates might be lower. Maybe no one is responding to the call to action you have in your email marketing. You are posting consistently, but you're probably feeling like, hello, 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 is anyone out there? Um, which is common in the summer. Remember, people are on vacation. They're not with their phones all the time. Maybe they're in a place that they are not even on your same time zone. Maybe they're in a place that don't even have good cell service because hopefully people are relaxing and doing things out of the norm as it's summer. Okay, so if these kind of things sound familiar, then I want you not to panic. I want you not to think that you're failing and all things are for naught. The other thing is, I don't want you to compare your July to your January. What I want you to do is compare your July of 2025 to your July of 2024. All right. And recognize it might just mean that what you're doing needs a tiny, tiny, tiny little tune up. So, some of the things that I see when people are trying to like double down on something and make a change and a pivot is they're not optimizing what they already have. So oftentimes what we see is like an unclear offer or an unclear next step for that client. So if you're marketing but not clearly communicating what the actual offer is or what that client, patient, buyer should do at the very next step and why it matters to them right now, they might not know what to do. So if you think about, like, let's take a pelvic health practice right now, pelvic health, physical therapy, women's health. If a busy mom who's got kids out of school sees your ad or your post or gets your email, will she immediately know what's in it for her or why she should act today? Okay. So what I want you to think of is if your ideal client, if your ideal person wakes up and sees your ad, are they going to know? Are they going to be like, yes, this is for me? What in their mind do they wake up with? Right. And does your offer answer that? So if in their mind they're waking up with, maybe the first thing is, oh my God, I peed my pants a little last night. Maybe the thought in their mind is, oh, I can't wait till I wake up and don't have to change my underwear again. Or maybe it's if they were being intimate with their partner last night and once again it's painful, maybe their thought in the morning is like, oh, what am I thinking? What am I feeling about myself? Because it really hurts when I try to be intimate with my partner. Okay. So, how can you make sure to be like, okay, my ideal person wakes up and thinks X? What offer can I put in front of her that's the solution to that X? Okay. So that's number one, like misalignment between like what your offer actually is and why this person should consider it like right now. Why is it important to them? Why should they care? Okay. The other thing is, like I said before, summer is always slower. People are on vacation, school is out, people have different work times. Sometimes they do no work on Fridays. Camp doesn't start till 9. So maybe people are pushing back their entire schedule. But that doesn't mean that people are not buying. It just means that they might be buying differently. They're oftentimes looking for some flexibility, some short-term solutions, maybe teachers that now have some free time, family-friendly offers. Can they bring their kids with them? So some of the things we did at Pilates in the Grove, and I've talked about this before on my podcast, is we did a July special, okay, for the last several years. And what we did was we sold a package that is not on our normal service list. So normally we have memberships and we do like 10 and 20 class package cards. But in the summer, in the month of July, we started selling 8 class packages for the same price as our 8 class a month membership. So it was a little bit of a discounted price point. So, and then we had a 60-day expiration. So you could buy them from July 1st to August 31st, and you had to use them within 60 date of purchase. So even people, if they bought August 30th, they would be done by October 30th, which is when most people started coming back, snowbirds and stuff by the end of October. So what we were able to sell something like 100 of them or more than 100 last year, I believe. So we were, and if you think about like, if they were 100 at, $239, we were able to generate like a couple, like $25,000 of extra revenue that we would not have necessarily generated because it's a new offer. All right. And then people use them by the end of October. So they were really, really successful for us. We've done them for the last 2 or 3 years, possibly. So maybe you do a 4 class punch card instead of an 8. Maybe you do like a summer strong mini program. Maybe you do a 30-day private challenge, like book one-on-ones for 30 days and see the difference in your strength, right? And your practice. Maybe it's summer accountability, right? Because people get off their schedule. So it can be a combination of like in-person and virtual sessions. So there's all these different things. You just have to kind of think outside the box and what is going to entice my ideal buyer to purchase. Okay. So they're not really aligning with your offer. Maybe do a more of a quick fix, real-time solution for the summer, offer something that you don't normally offer. And then the next one is um, you've got the lead, so people are clicking, but then you basically ghost them. And we talk about this a lot in my mentorship groups and ways to make this easy with automations. So you know, they gave you their lead. Maybe they don't reach out right away or they don't answer your phone call, but they should be on some sort of a nurture list where they're getting, whether it's one email, 4 emails, and interspersed with text. So it could be like how we actually help you. Then it could be an automation of a client success or case study. Then it could be behind the scenes look, maybe frequently asked questions about what people asked and how people saw transformations. Maybe it's another email about here's another offer that maybe interests you more. And maybe you reach out to them with a phone call or a text, be a little bit more personal. I'd love to jump on a discovery call with you. Like when we want sales, we have to get scrappy. We have to think outside the box. Those of us that are successful do things that other people just aren't willing to do. And that's why we're successful. Okay. So maybe if this is already something you're doing, maybe just refresh the emails, maybe just refresh the content. Maybe you haven't redone them in 3 or 4 years and you just need to update your messaging a little bit. Maybe just reignite, do a client win back series, something like that. Again, get scrappy. Okay. So the other things I want to talk about is people do sometimes think that marketing is set it and forget it. And while there will be when hopefully at some point you get an ad strategy that really is like a winning strategy, you can set it and forget it for a period of time, but it's not set it and forget it forever and ever. Oftentimes we need to come back to it and make sure that it is still working. And if it is still working, then great, but you have to reanalyze it, okay? Marketing is definitely like a living, breathing part of your business, and it's always evolving with your new clients, with your new offers, with your new season, with your new platform, with you, right? Especially digital marketing. The everything is changing very, very quickly. So what I want you to do is ignite some of those strategies, ready? Make sure they're still working. And if they're not, let's tweak them. Let's optimize them rather than just delete them altogether, unless you recognize, oh, yeah, this is definitely not working. And here's why. Okay. Oftentimes, when the women in our group, when we've done a deep dive into their marketing or their funnels or their magnets, we find the kink in the chain and we're like, oh, this isn't working because you haven't set this up. Right. And so what it's hard pill to swallow is when they're like, oh my God, I've just spent like $3,000 and it's not actually converting. Well, yes, that's true. But now we know what the problem is. Let's watch it now and let's watch it take off and let's watch it convert. Okay. So having somebody else be able to like look in your platforms and help strategize with you, someone who knows what to look for is a really, really, really big asset. And don't be afraid to ask for that. Okay. So the last thing I want you to recognize is that visibility now leads to sales later. Okay. We call this like the lag factor. All right. Most people know now that it takes anywhere, depending on what you read, 7 to 21 touch points before people actually buy. So people might be seeing your posts, your emails, or even your ads now, which is gaining attraction, gaining, hopefully nurturing them, but they won't be ready to act until September, maybe even to October. Why? Well, because human nature, buying decisions are rarely instant. They're rarely instant, okay? Very rarely, except for some of us that have an Instagram buying habit that they need to curb. So, anyways, especially in wellness and fitness, where it's like a service, people have to go in to do it. People are juggling kids and family and work, vacation, mental bandwidth. But that doesn't mean that your marketing isn't hitting. It just, I want you to think of it more as it's like it's marinating. Okay. And when you marinate steaks or chicken or fine wine, it's better in the outcome, right? So research has shown in the marketing sector that 95% of potential buyers are not ready to buy today. But that doesn't mean that they won't buy in the next 3 to 6 months. Again, remember, if you're taking the average person needs anywhere between 7 and 21 touch points before taking action on a service like ours, it's just repetition. Okay. So that means we just have to keep checking. We have to keep seeing are our leads increasing? Are our conversions increasing? It might be slow. Okay. Especially if you're just starting out, it might be like, oh, well, I'm only getting 5 new leads a week and one of them is converting. Okay. Well, as you get better at what you're doing and as more time passes, those 5 new leads might be turning into 20, which means 5 new people a week. Okay. It takes time. This is a slow, and I know none of you want to hear this process, but unless you have $10,000 to spend in ads, this is just the reality and it's okay. So while it might feel to you, and feelings are not facts, while it might feel like your posts are not hitting, the actions you take now in June, July, and August are planting the seeds for the success and the results you'll see in the fall. So here's some ways that you can stay top of mind, even if you feel, and again, remember the win is doing the thing, not necessarily always getting the result. It's like my win is I'm going to stay true to this and it will pay off in the future, right? So keep nurturing those clients with value and not just promos, right? So keep nurturing them with educated content, tips and tricks and hacks they can do at home. Are you feeling this and you didn't know what it was? Reshare testimonials and case studies and um, even video testimonials will be great. Share them consistently. Stay visible in email and social. Even if the engagement is lower, keep sending out your email monthly or weekly, whatever that is. Okay. It doesn't have to be long, it could be 3 lines. Really easy. Okay. Think of summer as your brand visibility season. Think of it as your nurture for your fall buyers. They're watching you now. They just haven't decided to buy yet. Maybe they've saved it in their Instagram account. Maybe they've bookmarked it on your website and they're going to get around to it. So just keep staying the course. Okay. So let's talk about some things that you can actually do this week or this month. Okay. Right now, here are some very tangible, actionable items for you. All right. I want you to consider doing a lead journey audit. Okay. So, what I mean by this, pick 5 recent new clients. 5 to 10, depending on how big your business is. 5 would be great. Okay. 3 to 5 if you don't have that many clients. I want you to ask them the following questions. 1, how they found you, what they saw. Was it an ad? Was it a testimonial? Was it a social post where they were referred by a friend? What they clicked on. Again, was it an Instagram? Was it an ad? Was it an email? What made them convert? Okay. And if they fell off, where they dropped off and why. Okay. So it's how they found you. Excuse me. How they found you, what they saw to make them like stop scrolling. Was it a referral, the sign, a walk by, Google, something? What made them click or call? What made them convert? What was like, today's the day that I'm going to make this appointment? And if they dropped off, why did they drop off? Is there anything they could have improved on their journey? Maybe your signing up was really difficult. We see this all the time in our mentorship groups where we're trying to help people tweak how clients ultimately schedule them. So maybe you have to click too many buttons, it's too many steps, and people are like, forget it, I don't have time for this. Okay. So the next thing, can you rework your follow up? Open up your email sequences, rewrite that first message to sound more human, more like you, add a personal story, use a video. That's always a great, great way to make it feel like a conversation. Like imagine if you had an email from a regular person and you were like, hey, so and so, and there's all sorts of easy ways that you can do this. Okay. And then possibly consider creating a seasonal offer. Now, at the time you're hearing this, it's already the end of June. So the best time to do this is when you do your strategy planning for 2026, but maybe you can do one for August. If you can get your stuff together really, really quick, maybe you can do it for the middle of July, but don't overthink it. Look at your current services and replace a package, repackage one of those offerings for more time sensitive, um, and then urgency, and then a limited time only. Maybe you decide to offer an unlimited for the month of August. Okay, there's lots of benefits to that. So those are really, really easy things, actionable things that you can do right now to help audit your marketing processes and procedures and stuff. Okay. So in closing, what I really want you to also recognize is marketing is part of your business. It is not a reflection of your worth. It's just a skill that we can learn and we can tweak and we can get better at. And we can ask for help from people that are better at it than we are. Okay. So we can help. You can get help to see the holes in your strategy. If you want help diagnosing and fixing those problems, that's really one of the steps we do inside my high ticket mentorship, the inner circle, which enrollment is now open. We have only 2 spots available for July enrollment. And we also do it in my month-to-month membership. So if you're interested in seeing how you can work with me so we can help you and how we really go about these things, go ahead and book a discovery call with me. You can do that by visiting www.christagurka.com/discovery. We'll also link it in the show notes. Go ahead, book a 15-minute free call with me, and I can do about the different ways we help members in our group, whether you're looking for some more real hands-on that comes with our mentorship, or you're looking for some, rough overview that you can get with a really, or if you're looking for some help, like more broad help that you can get for a really, really, really low price point, $99 a month. And you can also get input from other business owners. Okay. So you don't have to rebuild your systems from scratch. You can sometimes just optimize them and see the holes that maybe you don't see that. All right. So I don't really want you to second guess yourself. I want you to book a free discovery call with me, send me a DM, check out the link in my bio on my Instagram page so we can talk more about how I might be able to help get your marketing working for you again. All right. So everyone always loves the marketing episodes. I hope you found some of the information here valuable, and I can't wait to see what happens for you in your summer. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.